How did a kid who lived off food stamps end up becoming a multi-millionaire at just 23 years old? Jordan faced failure after failure, hit rock bottom more than once, and almost gave up on life completely. In this video, we'll talk about how he turned it all around and the painful stops along the way. Jordan grew up in a house where money was tight. His mother was a single parent making less than $20,000 a year, trying to keep a roof over their heads. Every grocery trip meant carefully counting every dollar, making sure they didn't go over the limit on their food stamps. At one point, they didn't even have a home of their own. They bounced between places, never sure where they'd end up next. Eventually, they got government assistance to move into a house. For the first time, Jordan felt like things might get better. That hope didn't last. A few years later, his mother lost the house to foreclosure. The home they thought was theirs was suddenly gone. Jordan had no choice but to pack his things and move away from his mom to live with his stepdad. It was one of the hardest moments of his life. Not only was he leaving his mother behind, but he was also leaving behind the little security he had. No more childhood bedroom, no more sense of stability. That moment changed him. It made him realize he never wanted to experience financial hardship again. But how do you go from being a broke teenager to someone who never has to worry about money again? Jordan didn't have many hobbies, but he had one escape: the internet. When his stepdad gifted him a laptop, he felt like he had been given the key to a whole new world. He spent hours every day watching YouTube, completely obsessed with creators who were making money by doing what they loved. It didn't take long before he wanted to try it himself. At just 14, Jordan started his own YouTube channel, filming videos with his friends. He quickly realized he had a talent for editing, and soon he started getting paid to edit Call of Duty montages for other people. He was making about $100 a week. Not a fortune, but enough to prove to himself that making money online was possible. That first taste of success lit a fire in him. He wanted more. Not long after, he turned to sneaker reselling. He studied the market, bought and flipped shoes, and before he knew it, he had made his first $1,000. That was a huge moment for him. It was the first time he felt real excitement about making money on his own terms. By 16, he was ready to go even bigger. He organized a sneaker convention, renting out the largest convention center in his city. He promoted it like crazy, sold tickets, and even got local news coverage. On the surface, it seemed like a massive success. But behind the scenes, it was a disaster. After covering all the costs, he barely made any money. He ended up sitting on the couch with his mom, crying, feeling like all his hard work had been for nothing. Was this the moment he'd finally give up? By the time Jordan graduated high school, he realized something painful. His friends who worked regular fast food jobs had more money than he did. Meanwhile, Jordan had nothing to show for all his hard work. To make matters worse, he wasn't doing great in school. He had bad grades, no sports achievements, and no clear plan for the future. His mom, worried about him, gave him an ultimatum. He had to get a job. So he did. His first and only job was as a dishwasher. He lasted exactly 1 week. The moment that broke him, one night, while he was carrying a full tray of wine glasses, he slipped. The glasses crashed to the floor, shattering everywhere. The whole restaurant went silent. It was humiliating. That night, he walked out and made himself a promise. He would never work a job again. But if he wasn't going to work a job, what was he going to do? He went to college. He took out $25,000 in student loans, moved into a tiny dorm, and relied on food stamps to get by. His entrepreneurial dreams felt dead. But then, out of nowhere, an unexpected opportunity landed in his lap: a $2,000 check for his leftover unused student loan. Jordan knew he had to make this $2,000 count. He started researching ways to make money online, and that's when he discovered dropshipping. The idea seemed perfect. He could sell products without holding any inventory. On May 19, 2017, he launched his first Facebook ad. He sat glued to his phone, refreshing his Shopify page, waiting for anything to happen. Then, at 1 a.m., it happened. His phone buzzed. His first sale. Someone had actually bought something from his store. The excitement was unreal, but it wasn't smooth sailing from there. He quickly burned through his $2,000 budget. Sales were coming in, but he wasn't making enough to be profitable. Desperate, he borrowed $500 from a friend and kept pushing. Then everything changed. He found a winning product. Sales started picking up. Within a week, he made his first $1,000 profit. Now that Jordan had found a profitable product, he went all in. His first month, $3,000 in profit. The next, $50,000 in sales. Before long, he was making over $10,000 a month. He dropped out of college, moved into an apartment with his friends, and hit his first $100,000 month. For someone who grew up on food stamps, this felt unreal. A year ago, he had less than $100 in his bank account. Now, he had over $50,000 in cash. He started documenting his journey on YouTube and even began coaching others, making another $10,000 per week. But as his success grew, so did his ego. He felt like he had outgrown his hometown. So he made a big move, Los Angeles. Was this the beginning of a new level of success, or was he about to make a huge mistake? When Jordan moved to Los Angeles, he felt like he had finally made it. He got a luxury apartment, leased a nice car, and was making more money than he ever had before. But there was one big problem. He stopped focusing on what made him successful in the first place. Instead of running his dropshipping business, he focused entirely on his coaching program. It was still making money, but it wasn't sustainable. He got caught up in the lifestyle, partying, spending recklessly, feeling invincible. His ego was at an all-time high. Then reality hit. By the end of 2018, his bank account had dropped from over $100,000 to just $30,000. His expenses in LA were massive. He was spending nearly $10,000 a month just to keep up his lifestyle. If he didn't turn things around fast, he was going to be broke again. That's when he came up with an idea: Viral Vault. Viral Vault was meant to be a tool to help others succeed in dropshipping. At first, it looked like a success, making $10,000 in profit in its first month. Excited by the potential, he reinvested everything into building an upgraded version. Then, disaster struck. His business partner, the person he trusted most, took all the money and disappeared. He blocked Jordan on everything, leaving him completely broke. How was he going to recover from this? Things went from bad to worse. The upgraded version of Viral Vault failed to launch properly, and Jordan had no money left to fix it. He maxed out his credit cards, racked up $21,000 in debt, and at one point had less than $100 in his bank account. He even had a negative balance in one of his accounts. The stress and failure crushed him. He stopped talking to people. He punched holes in his walls out of frustration. He cried himself to sleep at night. At his lowest moment, he called the suicide prevention hotline. But that call made him realize something. He wasn't alone. He still had people who cared about him. So he made a decision. He left Los Angeles and moved back in with his mom. At first it felt like a failure, but what he didn't expect was the overwhelming support from his family and friends. Slowly, he started to rebuild. He forgave himself for his mistakes, cut out bad habits, and reignited his entrepreneurial drive. He launched another dropshipping store. Within 20 days, he was making $10,000 in profit again. Was this the start of a true comeback? Jordan didn't just make a comeback. He came back stronger than ever. By 2021, he had taken his dropshipping store past $1 million in sales. His YouTube channel exploded, growing from 20,000 to 250,000 subscribers. Even his failed business, Viral Vault, turned into a $100,000 per month company. That year, he officially became a multi-millionaire. But instead of spending it all on himself, he did something special. He bought his mom her dream truck and took his entire family to Jamaica. His success wasn't just about making money, it was about freedom. After growing his Shopify store to $1.8 million in sales, he made another big decision. He sold it. With the money from the sale, he bought his dream car, a BMW M2. He even surprised his sister with her dream car and took her to Disney World with her kids. But what was the real lesson behind his journey? Looking back, Jordan's story wasn't just about making money, it was about overcoming failure. He learned that his biggest highs came from his lowest lows. What do you think about Jordan's story? Are you subscribed to his channel? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this interesting or inspiring, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.